Feels so good, words can't explain.
Sometimes I want to work on my snap. Sometimes I want to work on counters. Sometimes I want to work on movement. But before every sparring match, my coaches tell me what they want me to work on, and I try to utilize that in the sparring.
Terence "Bud" Crawford is sending a strong message after explosive video from his intensive training camp appeared online, sparking speculation ahead of one of the most ambitious fights in contemporary boxing history. Many people see the pound-for-pound king, who was born in Omaha, as going up against the current super middleweight champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Well, here we go.
Even more surprising than the fight itself is the money, or lack thereof. Crawford says he's willing to fight for the chance, even though stories say the total purse is $200 million and Canelo will get a huge $150 million. A few weeks ago, Crawford said on a Ring Champs show that the deal will only pay him $10 million. This shocked fans and experts.
I just want to know what number makes sense for you. What's fair?
I got $10 million for that fight.
That's a lie.
That being said, Crawford isn't interested in the money. He wants to make history. "I'm doing it for the opportunity, baby, the legacy," he said 3 times, undisputed. Crawford is taking the biggest and riskiest step of his career at the age of 37. He has already fought his way up from lightweight to light middleweight. He's set to jump not just one but to full weight classes from 154 pounds to the 168 pound super middleweight limit deep into Canelo's turf. This is a move. Crawford has taken calculated risks and been very careful in his trips so far, but nothing quite like this. Israel Madrimov was no match for him in his most recent fight, which gave him the WBA light middleweight title at 154 pounds. That was already a weight gain. Now, less than a year later, he's going up again, this time to super middleweight, where Canelo has been the champion since 2018, and where he briefly tested the waters at 175 pounds. What makes this situation even more frightening is the lack of a rehydration clause, a contractual safety that many smaller fighters demand when facing naturally larger opponents.
Whoa, fight fans, the Alvarez-Crawford showdown just got spicier. No rehydration clause? That's huge. Alvarez could be packing an extra 20 pounds of power on fight night. But here's the million-dollar question. Will it matter against Crawford's supreme skills?
It ensures that neither fighter may grow in size overnight, resulting in a more even playing field. But Crawford refused to edit no second weigh-in, no weight cap the next day. According to his trainer, Brian Bomack McIntyre, that was never even a possibility. "We don't give a damn if you get too big. It's on him. We fight men, not scales." Bomack's stance displays a retro mentality, but many detractors claim that this choice provides Canelo, who could weigh between 190 and 200 pounds, a significant size and power edge. And they are not incorrect to be concerned. Canelo has defeated considerably bigger opponents than Crawford, including light heavyweights.
That's some pussy shit. That's some weak shit. Oh, you can't come in this much and shit. Man, get the fuck out of here. It's boxing. You got on the scale, I made the weight, regardless when I come back, ass. Hey, you accepted the fight, let's get in there and fight like me. Simple.
Still, others believe Crawford's skill set can overcome his physical disadvantage. One of them is David Benavidez, an undefeated, super middleweight contender who has tirelessly pursued a fight with Canelo himself. Crawford's IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter, really smart, and he's strong but the weight, that's a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. Crawford isn't just fighting a man, he's fighting physics, mass, and legacy all at once. If there were ever any doubts about whether Crawford is taking this challenge seriously, the recently leaked footage puts them to rest. Shot inside what appears to be a Hoya. The videos show a boxer entirely committed to a harsh and highly specialized program. built not merely to survive Canelo Alvarez, but to outthink, outmaneuver, and dismantle him in the footage. Crawford is seen sparring with significantly larger opponents chosen to mimic Canelo's stocky build, pressure-forward approach, and heavy-handed aggression. These partners press him against the ropes, putting his physical agility to the test. Crawford works on his lateral movement and angular assaults in one phase, darting side to side with explosive footwork, rotating out of pressure, and reacting with precision right away.
2, 3, 2, 3, 2, double the 1, nice and sharp, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2.
Team drills misleading combinations. Jabs disguised as overhands give Crawford time to catch an advancing opponent off guard, but what stands out the most is Crawford's fitness work. Hard-altitude training that builds lung capacity and cardiovascular resilience for what looks to be a punishing 12 rounds. He has also participated in strength-focused circuits, with the ability to stand his ground and trade when necessary, as well as explosive mid-work that focuses on split-second reaction time. The strategy is clear: stay mobile, keep Canelo guessing, and control the tempo from the outside. Use timing to disrupt rhythm, force hesitation, and make Canelo chase, miss, and pay. The clip implies that the fighter is not only training to survive, but also to outclass and possibly outbox one of the most decorated champions of the last 2 decades. As the boxing world prepares for Crawford versus Canelo, some of the sport's most renowned figures have spoken out, and the consensus is as convoluted as the fight itself. First, the legendary Roberto Duran, a 4-division world champion and one of the sport's most brilliant brawlers, provided Crawford with a one-of-a-kind tactical blueprint.
¿Qué tiene que hacer Crawford para ganar la pelea contra Canelo subiendo de peso, como tú subiste de peso muchas veces?
Es una pelea muy dura, pero depende de cómo venga el hombre. Tiene que buscar y pararse, confundirlo. Te paga, sale y él piensa que tú te vas a pagar y le boxea. El otro asalto, él piensa que tú le vas a boxear y te le paga, todo lo tiene confundido.
In an interview, Duran advised Crawford to play both a psychological and a physical game. It's a tough battle, but it all relies on how Crawford enters. He needs to box, brawl, and confuse Canelo. When Canelo anticipates a fight, he will brawl first and then box. Next round, box when he expects you to fight. Keep him bewildered and you'll win. Duran, who famously clashed with Sugar Ray Leonard, understands the significance of unpredictability. His coaching specifically addresses Canelo's penchant to dictate pace and how Crawford's switch hitting, reactive style may break that rhythm. Then there's Floyd Mayweather, arguably the greatest strategic and defensively brilliant fighter in history, and the man who dealt Canelo his first professional loss in 2013. His admiration for Crawford has never waned.
Canelo was 23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts. And the world said he was inexperienced. I was 36 with 40-something fights. And to tell you the truth, I was over the hill.
Terence Crawford is currently the top boxer pound for pound. It's fantastic to see him in the position he's in continue to be terrific, especially from a perfectionist like Mayweather, who retired 50. That's a major endorsement, and it's even more significant given Mayweather's history of speaking frankly about Canelo's vulnerabilities. Mayweather once stated, "Canelo, that was simple, a cakewalk. I cooked him. You all praised this guy, yet he was nothing." In sharp contrast, he sees Crawford as a generational technician, capable of becoming the sport's new standard bearer.
You changed your pick for that fight, Oscar, based on how Canelo looked against Skull?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say because Canelo, obviously he walks on quicksand. We saw it against Skull once again. Crawford is very, he's not one-dimensional. He can move, he can box, he can, I don't know how hard he hits to keep Canelo away from him, but I think it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Oscar de la Hoya, a 6th-division world champion and former Canelo promoter, responded with a mix of adoration and realism. If Crawford can do it, Jesus Lord, give this man the title of being the greatest ever. But I just don't see it. Canelo is a big puncher. He walks on quicksand, which Crawford can use against him, but the pressure of the heavier guy, the Hoya, didn't mince words about the weight difference, stating that Canelo could be 200 pounds by fight night, while Crawford is still new to even the 154-pound class. He appreciates Crawford's ability, but believes Canelo's physicality will be the deciding factor. These diverse perspectives underscore the fight's central tension: boxing IQ versus physical power, skill versus size, legacy versus risk, as dramatic. As the battle is gearing up to be inside the ring, the happenings behind the scenes have been equally tense. Originally scheduled with great excitement on September 12 at the huge Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, the fight has since undergone a flurry of logistical and promotional modifications as a result of a schedule conflict to college football event occupying the venue. The battle was rescheduled for September 13th, and the venue was left in uncertainty. Several major American cities, including Las Vegas, are now in contention, Los Angeles and New York City. But the most significant change was Dana White's departure from the promotional lead role.
Turkey made it seem like you weren't going to be promoting the Terence Crawford Canelo fight. Is there anything you can kind of clear up on that?
He made it feel like I wasn't?
Yeah, well, he said that someone else was promoting it. He didn't say no TKO, he just didn't include your name in a tweet, and people kind of freaked out online about like, where'd Dana go?
I'm going to tell you what's awesome, man. So there's a lot of fucked up things about boxing.
White, who was initially leading the fight with his new TKO boxing business financed by Saudi Arabia and teamed with WWE President Nick Khan, was unceremoniously removed. The move came after Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh opted to hand over complete promotional management to Sela, a Saudi-owned events business that manages important Riyadh season contests such as Tyson Fury vs. Francis Ngannou. While no official explanation has been provided for Dana White's resignation, insiders believe that issues about location, broadcast rights, and creative control may have played a factor.
But they don't say shit. I mean, nobody talks. It's the most amazing thing. If we sign a deal, I gotta fucking get on my phone quick, go, hey, we just fucking, because 90,000 people will be out there talking about it. These guys don't talk.
The switch signifies Saudi Arabia's increasing influence in global boxing, not just in funding marquee fights, but also in controlling their production and branding. The event is now set to be part of Riyadh season with a guaranteed pay-per-view slot, though a broadcast partner has not yet been confirmed. Whether it ends up on DAZN, ESPN, Amazon Prime, or Showtime remains a question mark. Still, the anticipation remains sky high. Despite all the changes, this fight is still being framed as a once-in-a-generation clash between two of boxing's most decorated champions. If there's one topic that has sparked as much buzz as the matchup itself, it's Crawford's compensation, or lack thereof. Initial reports estimated the total purse for this mega fight at a jaw-dropping $200 million, with Canelo pocketing $150 million and Crawford expected to receive around $50 million. But during a candid interview on the Ring Champs podcast with Afghan Barack, Crawford dropped a bombshell: "I got $10 million for that fight with Canelo." At first, the host thought he was joking. When pressed, Crawford doubled down.
How you know that's a lie?
To fight Canelo?
Yeah.
That's a lie.
I'm doing it for the opportunity, baby.
Yeah, that's
The
good.
legacy.
That's good. That's
You hear
good. Yeah.
You believe that?
Yeah, 100%. If he said 10 million, it's 10 million.
The legacy outweighed the money.
That's true. I respect that.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
3-time undisputed. Ooh, coming soon.
To many fans, the allegation was perplexing. Why would one of the world's best boxers take a meager 5% cut of the money in the biggest bout of his career? The solution rests in Crawford's motivations. For him, this is about history, rather than economics. Becoming the first man to go undisputed in 3 different weight classes is a feat beyond money. It would place his name alongside the sport's greats, 3 times undisputed. "Oh, we're coming soon," he teased during the same interview. However, the budgetary imbalance creates concerns. Is this fair? Is it a measure of marketability, or is it simply the cost of trying something no one else has done? Fans now watch a warrior putting everything on the line for legacy, not just entering the ring but marching into a weight class designed to crush down smaller men. The fact that he's doing it for a fraction of the money adds another layer to an already interesting story in a sport where business frequently rivals boxing's name. Jake Paul continues to make his way into even the most elite level debates, and now, shockingly, he is considered with Terence Crawford, one of the sport's pound-for-pound kings. During a recent visit on Club Shade, presenter Shannon Sharp couldn't resist asking Crawford about the rumored battle with the social media sensation turned professional fighter. Crawford originally dismissed it with a smirk. "No. Man, Jake's doing his thing. Jake is big, yet he's doing his own thing. I am going to let Jake do what he does." Sharp pressed on, proposing a hypothetical. What if the purse was $200 million? Crawford's tone changed quickly. "I am fighting Jake Paul." It was part joke, part honesty, and fully revealed how business-savvy even a legacy-minded warrior like Crawford can be. It also shows how Paul's position in boxing, as divisive as it is, continues to provide significant financial power even in negotiations with pound-for-pound experts. Meanwhile, Jake Paul will fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., the former WBC middleweight champion and son of a Mexican boxing great, on June 28. It's Paul's most difficult test yet, as well as a strategic step in his public drive to one day fight for a true world title. If both Paul and Crawford win their individual bouts, with one conquering the YouTube 2 world title pipeline and the other defeating Canelo at 168. A Crawford-Paul fight, as ridiculous as it may sound today, could quickly become one of the most lucrative crossover fights in boxing history. Money moves faster than talent, and odd pairings have sold out venues despite the spectacle. There is a fundamental truth behind narratives and speculations. Terence Crawford's fighting career could be changed forever after this fight. A win over Canelo would be nothing short of historic. It would engrave his name in the sport's upper echelons and shatter records that have stood for years. Crawford, if victorious, would become the first male fighter in history to be undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes, a 5-division world champion ascending from 135 pounds to 168 pounds, bridging boxing's most hazardous weight gaps, and, perhaps most importantly, becoming the clear-cut pound-for-pound #1.
That's when you retire, because basically there's nothing you could do after that. If you were able to get 3-time undisputed, 3 different weight classes, there's nothing you can accomplish after that, right? Because 68,
yeah, he's gonna retire
unless you,
after that.
I might go back
unless
down
you
to
went
54.
down, right?
To fight who?
And do it
But
again.
you can't get all of them though. It's too much trying to get all of them.
I might go back down and do it again.
Do it again.
CV that would force comparison not only to today's greats, but to all-time greats. Floyd Mayweather, who is already a fan, has repeatedly praised Crawford as the best fighter in the sport to date. But if Crawford pulls off this upset against a natural super middleweight, even skeptics may have to consider bitter question: is Terence Crawford the greatest fighter of this era, or perhaps of all time? Of course, the stakes are equally high for Canelo Alvarez. A loss to a much smaller fighter would damage his reputation, raise doubts about his dominance at 168 pounds, and spark disputes about whether he peaked early in his career. The story revolves around both men, but Crawford's risk is what elevates this moment to historical importance. This is more than just a championship match, it's a vote on excellence. Canelo sees this as a chance to defend his empire against a bold challenger who is willing to face the heat. Crawford sees it as a chance to transcend height, weight, and financial sacrifice in pursuit of immortality. The change is remarkable. Canelo, the natural super middleweight, comes in with the belts, the power, the fans, and the money. Crawford, the smaller man, comes with nothing to lose and everything to show. The video clip shows a fighter polishing each weapon in his armory. The public statements show a guy undeterred by the odds, and boxing luminaries remain divided. Even David Benavidez, a veteran of the weight class, stated plainly, Crawford has the IQ and the ability, but the weight is real. Terence Crawford, does he have a chance to beat Canelo? Terence Crawford, in my opinion, has the best chance of beating Canelo. He has an extremely high IQ, is an amazing combatant, and is physically strong. It's just that it weighs a lot. I would not be surprised if Terence Crawford wins or loses. Terence Crawford showed his level and type of dog when he faced the best opponents, such as Errol Spence. I'm not sure. You'll have to wait and see what happens with these fights. He might be hurt. This could inspire him to come back stronger. Could you still reach 68? I don't want to reach 68. No, I do not know. Terence wins 68. Yeah. If that's yes, I can make 168. The beauty of this fight lies in its bounds, or lack thereof. It's a clash of two different physical worlds united only by their indisputable magnificence. Now it is your time, the fans, purists, doubters, and dreamers. Is Crawford chewing off more than he can chew, or is he ready to leave his mark on history? Can Canelo keep his rule, or is he set to lose to one of the sport's smartest fighters? Will it be a technical masterclass or a power mismatch? We want to hear your thoughts. Mark your calendars. The most anticipated battle of the year is planned for September 13th, with the venue still to be determined. Broadcaster unknown, but one thing is certain: history is on the line. Drop your predictions in the comments, share your fight picks, and sign up for complete fight breakdowns, legacy debates, and exclusive insights as we count down to Crawford versus Canelo, a fight that might change everything.
Here we go.
Right, guys, for the most up-to-date boxing news, classic moments, important events, and all the action, subscribe to our channel and allow notifications to never miss out on excellent material. Don't forget to see our other movies. Until next time, peace.